have $1,000 to spend on getting closer to my goal of retiring in 4 years with $10,493.14 a month in passive income. But this year, my goal is only $274.50 per month. My goal? 1. Analyze Tilray stock to see if it fits my passive income goal. 2. Purchase Tilray if it makes sense. That simple. The problem is, 1. Tilray Inc. does not pay a dividend, so it has to make up the difference in explosive growth over the next 3 to 4 years to meet my goal. 2. We are somewhat in the middle of a correction. 3. There's talks of unchecked inflation destroying the market and a potential crash. 4. Their financials. Well, you'll have to see it for yourself. And 5. I know absolutely nothing about the weed industry. I'm somewhat of a straight edge. I've never smoked anything in my life, done any drugs, I even shy away from over-the-counter medication. And I didn't even drink alcohol until I turned 21. So I'm at a huge disadvantage here.
I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Low me tools, no I can't be fooled. Low me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. I could never be you.
What's up, y'all? Sean McMurray here, and this is Analytical Overdrive's
Investing Unicorn.
First and foremost, thanks to everyone who has been supporting. Through the likes, the shares, the comments, and the ideas as I trudge forward on my goal of $10,493.14 a month in passive income. This video came straight from one of you. Thanks to my good friend Carol who clued me in on Tilray, and sorry it took so long. Will Tilray Inc., ticker symbol TLRY, make it into my precious portfolio? So here's what we're going to do. 1. Learn about Tilray as it is not in my circle of competence. 2. Research whether or not smart money has taken an interest into Tilray. 3. Identify Tilray's economic moat. 4. Review their financial statements. And 5. Decide on whether to buy or not. All right, who is Tilray? Because I don't know shit about them. According to Yahoo Finance and the almighty Google, Tilray is a Canadian pharmaceutical and cannabis company incorporated in the United States with primary operations headquartered in Toronto, Ontario. They engage in the research, cultivation, processing, and distribution of medical cannabis. They operate in Argentina, Australia, Canada, Chile, Croatia, Cyprus, Germany, Israel, and the list goes on. They recently made news with their announcement of merging the two companies, Tilray and Afria, making Tilray the largest cannabis company
In the world.
That's huge news, especially with the growing positive legislation and opinions towards cannabis. So, who is actually invested in Tilray? Are there any big fish? We see Goldman Sachs Group Inc., Morgan Stanley, and a list of ETFs. There seems to be a little interest in the company, but for me, it's not really moving the needle much. What kind of economic moat does Tilray have? Sure, they've been cutting their prices. They seem to operate in many countries, and the merger with Afria will make them the largest cannabis company
In the world.
This merger will also allow them to drive cultivation costs down even further. In addition, a cost synergy of $78 million over 2 years after the merger closes, mostly concentrated in marketing and sales. These cost savings, in theory, will allow them to be able to sell their product much cheaper, making it more appealing and easier to access. Or they maintain prices and use the additional revenue to grow the business further. Although, a clear-cut economic moat? I'm not really seeing one. Let's look at their financials. First of all, red flag for me is I only have 5 years of data. Typically, I want to see at least 10 years back. Balance sheet is not looking great. Equity is inconsistent, but moving in the right direction. Debt to equity ratio is enough to make you gag, but also moving in the right direction. We would like to see below 50% and, well, we're in the hundreds and thousands. The income statement, whoa. If the balance sheet looked like this, then the income statement is its long lost ugly cousin. Tilray is not making money. In fact, they're losing more money year over year. Return on equity, boo-boo as well. We'd like to see above 15%, but we're all in the negative. Their cash flow statement looks like the inside of Cardi B's head. There's nothing there. How do you have negative brains? Net cash from operating activities, negative. And increasingly so year over year. Free cash flow, negative. And increasingly negative. Sure, there's a merger coming that may help improve things, but looking at Afrea's financials, doesn't look much better. Their balance sheet looks the best, but all three financial statements reflect worsening conditions. So, will I invest? Nah, in my opinion, they are missing the target on almost every measure. Not that past results predict future results, but the problem is the history of cannabis stocks is not one of longevity and positive growth. From American Green, Cannabis Sciences, Cannabis Holdings, Can Labs, Creative Edge Nutrition, etc., etc. What we see is significant growth in their stock price initially, only for many of these stocks to lose up to 96% of their value or failing altogether. Companies just haven't figured out how to make it profitable yet. As it relates to my goal of $10,493.14 per month in passive income, it's not in line. It's not to say they won't eventually get it together, but that's speculation, and with the stock market and the risk of inflation, it's not a risk I'm willing to take. I have to pass on this one. If you'd like to be a part of my race towards $10,493.14 per month in passive income within 4 years, obliterate that subscribe button. I'll show you exactly what works and what doesn't to get out of the rat race. If for anything, like the video. Super cliche as a YouTuber, but it is so true. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Tilray. Don't just go flapping your gums because you're a Tilray main. Educate me if I'm getting something wrong. I'm not too good to admit if I've made a mistake. I'm Sean McMurray, and this is Analytical Overdrive's
Investing Unicorn.